Welcome back. We visited some of the most dangerous sections of the city, but we also found a great resilience among Christian leaders like Phil Jackson of the Firehouse Community Arts Center.
We're getting to the point as we go west that we're getting farther away from city center now, where in near proximate neighborhoods to the downtown are the ones that typically get a little bit more resources. So we're kind of moving away from that now.
And we're in North Lawndale.
We are.
Now.
We're just entering North Lawndale, but we're going to celebrate Pastor Phil Jackson.
Is that where we're headed?
Yes,
Tell us
where
about
we're headed.
Pastor Phil.
And the firehouse, Pastor Phil, has this building here. You can see it, City of Chicago Fire Department. It's been converted into a church, and Pastor Phil is pouring into this neighborhood, part of the broader Lawndale Community Church, and there is much good happening through this ministry. So we're going to see Pastor Phil.
All right, let's go talk to Pastor Phil. So Pastor Phil, we were just surrounded by sirens. For me, that was a little unusual to have that many sirens, but you seemed to understand it very well. Is that usual?
Well, I'm not comfortable with it. I'm just familiar with it, and being familiar with it to the degree that let me find the root cause of what's going on, not just to write it off like, oh, there they go, but making sure that if we have some involvement with the guys that we're working with, that we can advocate or we could check in to see what's happening. Yeah.
But that's why you're here.
Right. To serve the Lord in this context, to be salt and light in tough areas, and to really have the light shine hard as best we can.
It's close to home though, isn't it, Phil? Because I know recently there was a shooting. You were just proximity to it, weren't you? Coming out from the meeting with the guys on the sidewalk right in front of the Lawndale Community Church.
Yeah, it was a...
Talk just a little bit about, because you've been pouring into the lives of these men.
Yeah. So I've been in this neighborhood 24 years, and I been in ministry 30, and walk with these guys in a lot of different ways. And so we had just taken some guys to a mentoring meeting and took them to go get something to eat and had a great session with them. And one of the guys had just told his mom, this is the day I'm finally doing something positive with my life. And as he did that, he went with us and went with a mentor, and then he ended up going to the store and then going back to bring the stuff he got from the store to another guy right in Lawndale Community Church, and a car rolled up on him behind him and shot him with an AK-47 4 times, and he wasn't the target. He looked like somebody was a part of the target, but these guys were just about less than a half a mile away in their area, their territory, and they were looking for somebody who they thought was this guy. So, and that just sent a ripple into a lot of situations that we've tried to advocate for and to try to, the brevity of life or the value of life when you're younger is younger in the city, and the complexities of things oftentimes when it's life versus your reputation, or life versus your life, or life versus your money, then the value of life is decreased, Yeah.
Tell us about this area, this Lawndale.
North Lawndale's beautiful. It's a great place, man. It's a great place. Only about maybe 2% of the people in Lawndale are doing horrible, crazy things. 98, 97% of the people trying to go to school every day.
That's really important to reiterate that, isn't it, brother?
It is.
Yeah.
When you can only, we have a bunch of churches in here to do a lot of work, do a lot of great work, and advocacy work, and stuff that nobody even writes about, nobody even knows. But the value of what people are doing when it comes to that is not necessarily seen, right? And but what is seen is what was been happening on 16th and Ridgeway. And then there's a lot of people who are tired in Lawndale, tired of the shootings and tired of the stuff, because it ebbs and flows at times. And a younger generation begins to try to pass the mantle, grab the mantle, or if you will, or baton, and create more hectic stuff. Since we've been doing what we've been doing, people have said a lot of violence has decreased in North Lawndale.
Tell us what you are doing at your church.
So we run the Firehouse Community Arts Center, which is our effort to transform the lives of youth and young adults in the arts within a faith community where we can exemplify Christ. We have this whole thing, less definition of the gospel, more demonstration. Let us be what Christ called us to be, and let that in of itself bring salvation to those who are serving. And so we have 6 different disciplines in the Firehouse. We have technology, we have culinary arts, audio engineering, visual arts, dance, and fashion. And 3 of those are going to be social enterprises where we're going to have our Firehouse catering. We're going to do networking with people's computers, and we're going to have fashion where we make prom dresses or suits and things like that for people.
Yeah.
But it'll be done by young people from this neighborhood.
What drives kids to join gangs?
The disparity of what's around them, the disparity meaning economic disparity, safety disparity, the reality that I live on Avers, I'm trying to go to school every day, but there's a crew of guys who think I'm with so-and-so, let me be a part of this crew so I can be safe. Now, used to be a time where there was a chief of a gang, and that chief dominated and ruled the guys. We had certain situations with guys, we'd come to the chief and be like, have so-and-so stop burning the cars down, and they would stop. Have so-and-so stop breaking into houses, and they would stop. Not that we want anybody breaking into homes, but there was an order. And now there's no order. Those guys have been arrested, those guys have been in jail, so the younger guys are just oftentimes running abandoned. And so it's all fractioned out now. And so used to be, even though it's reckless, the gang influence, it used to have some order to it. So there's a lot of things that create that, but
you don't think anyone is hopeless?
No one is hopeless, no one is hopeless. That was Big Reach right there. Used to be a 3-star general elite who would run this neighborhood forever, but now he's working with kids, loves the Lord, and reaching guys. So, so there's no.
Praise God,
it is about.
It's all good.
It is about
nothing's hopeless.
Nothing,
then.
right?
Yeah.
It is about.
Yeah.
It is about. I mean, he got some crazy stories too. It's about a long walk in the same direction.
Wow. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for being with us.
Appreciate that.
When we stood with Pastor Phil there, I think we were struck by the number of sirens coming by, both fire and ambulance, police, and realizing that a shooting had gone down in the neighborhood, literally.
Just then
While we were there nearby.
Up next, we get a taste of how Lou Malnati's is serving Lawndale community.